Hey guys, good morning. Welcome back to our channel, the Eaton Squad. My name is Addie. So for today's video, this topic is quite neglected sometimes. What are the protocols if you are traveling with your minor children? Are they exempted from the required COVID-19 test, whether RT-PCR test or antigen test? Are they still required to have travel insurance? And what are the quarantine protocols for minor children? That's what we are going to talk about today. Details coming right up. So if there is an adult traveler, there is also a minor traveler. And there is also quite a bit of travelers who are traveling together as a family. Mom, dad, and the kids. So, adult travelers will have their own set of protocols entering the Philippines. The minor kids also have sets of protocols when they are entering the Philippines. What are the ages of the minors who are exempted from COVID-19? And what are the ages of minors who are exempted from quarantine and those who are not exempted from quarantine? We are going to talk about that today on this video. As well as we are going to talk about travel insurance for them. Are minors required to have travel insurance? And are minors required to register with One Health Pass? So let's get started with this topic. Let's talk about the COVID-19 test first. It's either RT-PCR test or antigen test. The ages who are exempted to take the antigen or RT-PCR test are 3 years old and below. So if your child is 3 years and 2 months, 3 years or 5 days old, 3 years or 6 months old, they are not exempted. It should be 3 years old and below. They don't need to undergo the COVID-19 test, either RT-PCR test or antigen test. So tagalugin po natin, yung mga bata po na kasamang babiyahe ang mga magulang patungong Pilipinas, kapag po 3 taon pababa, hindi po required ang COVID-19 test na RT-PCR test or antigen test. Pero kung yung mga anak ninyo is 3 taon pataas, 3 taon at 2 buwan, 3 taon, 6 na buwan, hindi na po sila exempted sa COVID-19 test. So yun lang po mga 3 years old and below, yun lang po mga 3 taon pababa yung hindi kailangang mag-undergo ng COVID-19 test, whether RT-PCR test or antigen test. So now let's proceed to the quarantine protocols for unvaccinated and fully vaccinated minors traveling with their parents. So the exemption to the rule, if you are traveling with your kids and they are 12 years old and under, what will be followed will be the parents' vaccination status. So if both of you are fully vaccinated, then your kids who are 12 years old and below will follow your vaccination status. Meaning, if you are fully vaccinated, you don't need to undergo quarantine. If you are unvaccinated, please be reminded that this only applies to Filipino citizens. If you are unvaccinated, then the child will have to undergo quarantine protocols as well. That is 5 days quarantine and will be swabbed on the 5th day. And if your result turns out negative, then you guys will be sent home. So please remember this. For minors 12 years old and below, the parents' vaccination status will be followed. So dun sa mga magulang na babiyahe kasama ang kanilang mga anak na 12 taon pababa, ang masusunod po na quarantine protocol is yung sa inyo na mga magulang. Kung kayo po ay fully vaccinated, hindi na po kayo mag-undergo ng quarantine. Pero po kung kayo ay unvaccinated na Filipino, kasi po ang allowed lang po makapasok sa bansa na unvaccinated is yung mga Filipino citizen, kailangan din pong mag-quarantine ng mga anak ninyo na 12 taon pababa. So sana malinaw po tayo doon. And for those minors who are 12 years old to 17 years old, their vaccination status will be followed because this age group is now being vaccinated. So if your kids are from 12 years old to 17 years old If they are fully vaccinated, then they skip quarantine. But if they are unvaccinated, they will have to undergo quarantine, and one of the parent should accompany the child during the quarantine period, which is 5 days. Then the child will be swabbed on the 5th day. When the result turns out negative, then you guys will be sent home. You guys might get confused like, hey Addie, I thought you said 12 years old and below are going to follow the vaccination status of the parents. Yes, that is correct. And now you're saying that the 12 years old to 17 years old will have to follow their vaccination status. Yes, that is correct also. What I meant to that is, if your child is 12 years old, no more than 12 years old, like she is 12 years old in 1 month, 12 years old in 6 months, that's what I meant by 12 years old to 17 years old. So, meaning your child cannot be more than 12 years old to be on the category to follow the parents' vaccination status. On the 12 years old to 17 years old, this is if your child is 12 years old in 6 months, 12 years old in 8 months. I know they are very technical about it on the age group, but hey, that is an IATF protocol. And like I said, if your child is 12 to 17, the vaccination status will be followed. If your child is fully vaccinated, your child will skip quarantine. But if your child is unvaccinated, then your child will have to go through quarantine, and one of the parents should accompany the child during quarantine. Now let's proceed with One Health Pass. I know you might say, hey, they are still young to be doing the registration with One Health Pass. Can I just add them as family? Unfortunately, there is no option on that with One Health Pass. So regardless of the age, you will have to register with One Health Pass. So kahit anong edad po ng mga anak ninyo, kahit po 3 months old pa lang, 4 months old, kailangan po nilang mag-register sa One Health Pass. They should have their own QR code from One Health Pass when they are traveling to the Philippines. So what about travel insurance? Are the kids required to have travel insurance? For the children of Filipino citizens, the kids are exempted from purchasing travel insurance. And for the kids of former Filipinos or balikbayans, for as long as they are traveling together, they will be exempted from purchasing a travel insurance. Even though your kid is flying on a foreign passport, like a US passport, Canadian passport, for as long as they are with their Filipino parents or Filipino citizen parents or former Filipino parents or balikbayan, they are exempted or they are not required to purchase travel insurance. But I highly recommend purchasing one if you guys can afford it. Purchase travel insurance for your children because we'll never know. It's better to be well prepared than it's too late already. So this COVID-19 is still around. I know we are trying to live with it, but we also have to be cautious and well prepared financially just in case of emergency. So dun po sa mga magulang na babiyahe kasama yung mga anak nila, especially yung mga Filipino citizen or yung mga former Filipino or balikbayan, kasama yung mga minor kids nila papuntang Pilipinas, hindi po nila kailangang bumili ng travel insurance. Pero hindi po masamang bumili ng travel insurance kung afford nyo naman. Bilhan nyo po ng travel insurance yung mga anak ninyo just in case po kung may emergency sa Pilipinas. It's not required but it's highly recommended. And to those parents who have been through the process traveling with their minor kids, can you guys please share your experience? What were the protocols said to you guys when you guys arrived in the Philippines? Was the process smooth and hassle-free for our little ones? We would love to hear your experience, and if you do, please comment it down below. And I really appreciate, guys. So this is our latest travel updates to the Philippines. If you have any questions, concerns, or inquiries with regards to this video or in any of our travel related videos, please comment it down below and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. Or you can direct message me in our Facebook page, same handle, the Eaton Squad. Again, guys, thank you so much for the continued support and trust to our channel, the Eaton Squad. And please also check it out. My husband's YouTube channel, Polar Bear in the Philippines. I hope you guys will give the same support and trust that you guys give to the Eaton Squad. I hope to see you in our next travel update. Stay safe, stay healthy, and God bless everyone. Bye.